Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Customer Engagement webinar organized by the Israeli Trade Mission and the Export Institute. Thank you for joining us today. I think this webinar, it's a series of webinars that we do in order to expose South African companies to Israeli technologies, to engage with Israeli companies in order to enhance your business portfolio and your solutions in the local market. My name is Amit Lev. I'm the head of the Israeli Trade Mission, and we have also the companies here with us today, and Katlecho, who is leading the fintech sector in the Trade Mission. The Israeli Trade Mission is a part of the Ministry of Economy and Industry in Israel. We have 45 trade missions around the world, and 3 in Africa, here in South Africa, in Kenya and Ghana, and this event is also part of the collaboration with Kenya and Ghana trade offices, and also with the Africa-Israel Chamber of Commerce. The main role of the Trade Mission is to provide connections, outreach, knowledge about Israeli technologies, and for South African companies and African companies who are seeking to connect with those companies. We decided to focus today on customer engagement because we saw, and it was a trend, but also before the Corona, but even during the Corona and post-COVID, we see a lot of technology frog lips that are coming. And the main thing that customers are needed to do today is to engage and to be tech savvy and to have this correspondence with your services. And this is why we see more and more trends of how to be more connected to your customers, how to be engaged with them, how to take more from what you are providing to your clients. And South Africa is no different from other countries in the world. So this main event is to present to you some of the cutting edge company from Israel that providing this kind of solutions and technologies. And I hope you'll have a good day. We will have this just about the agenda of the day. We're going to have the companies presenting. Each company will have 10-15 minutes to present, and then we'll have a panel discussions where we can also encourage the audience to ask questions by the chat or the Q&A box, and we will address them. Of course, after we will recording this webinar, and we will share the link and the presentations with people that would like to engage then, and we'll also do follow-up. If your company or others want to engage with one of the companies, please let us know, and we will take care of that. So without further ado, I would like to present our first speaker for today, Dorel Blitz from Personetics. Dorel, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. I'm Dorel Blitz. I'm VP Strategy and Business Development at Personetics. We are a financial data-driven, personalized engagement platform. Personetics is a 10-year-old growth fintech company. We are about 250 employees in 8 global offices, backed by some of the world's largest banks and some of the world's largest VCs. We are doubling our growth rate for the last 5 years, and we provide a complete strategic white label, financial data-driven, personalized engagement platform. We are currently in production with over 60 banks in 25 different markets, and actually providing the market standard in financial data-driven personalization and customer engagement. We are serving today over 100 million end customers globally and keep growing and adding additional business solutions. Our company goal is to help banks to leverage their biggest asset, which is their own customers' financial transactional data, even from external data sources like open banking, in order to quickly drive a significant business impact and market differentiation. So basically, we're helping banks to become much more proactive, smart, and of course, knowledgeable with their own customers, and by doing so, to better sell and to better service their own customers. On the other side, we're helping the customers, people like you and me, to better manage their financial life, to stay on top of their finance, and to increase their financial wellness, even resilience. And we are striving to actualize a world of self-driving finance, where we believe banks should proactively act on behalf of their customers to better monetize the relationship value. We have 3 main assets in our platform, and is dealing with different segments within the banks: retail banking customers, wealth management customers, small business customers, and even just card holders. And these three main assets are dealing with our analytics approach, our out-of-the-box content approach, and our tools that providing the banks the ability to manage everything by themselves so they can modify or even create from scratch their own personalized experience and to truly differentiate themselves in the market and drive a significant, measurable business impact. So let's start with some examples. Self-driving finance trajectory, the way that we are seeing that globally is by ability of banks to truly be there for their customers, to fulfill the social contract, and by moving from a transactional banking into actually emotional empathy banking, where banks are providing service to their customers, helping them to better manage their day-to-day finance, to stay on top of their finance, and helping them to reach their own financial goals with personalized insights, alerts, recommendations, even real-time financial data-driven product-based advice. This is the self-driving finance that we are seeing in the market, including the ability of banks to think and act even in behalf of their customers, helping them again to achieve financial goals. One great example is Santander UK, one of the largest banks in the UK. They went live with Personetics in less than 5 months in a mobile application. The digital money manager of Santander is completely managed by Personetics, by the way, in 5 different Santander banks all over the world. And you can see here a personalized dashboard to the customers when they are logging in or through push notifications, personalized insights, alerts, recommendations, product-based advice, even all sorts of automated wellness programs to help customers to understand their finance and to execute specific product-based advice capabilities. DBS is the largest bank in Southeast Asia and the world's most innovative bank. We are working with DBS in several markets, in several installations, including digital banks and the regular banks, providing a great capabilities to help customers to tap into the world of effortless banking. So let me please show you one quick video of what we've done with DBS.
What if banking could be more intuitive? And it could learn what matters to you. So when something looks unusual, it lets you know fast. It keeps an eye on things, so you can just... Exactly. Because an effortless day is living more and banking less. Tap into a world of effortless banking.
Okay, coming back to the presentation, I hope that you can still see my presentation. So just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, so we spoke about DBS and we saw some of the great capabilities. And this is starting with transaction monitoring insights, predictive analytics insight, even something that is coming up in a month or 2 months, and even product-based advice. Another great example, UOB, this is the 3rd largest bank in Southeast Asia. We've done several implementations, including the digital bank of UOB and the regular traditional bank. And we were able, with 5 million digital customers, to quadruple customer engagement scores and NPS, to touch the customers over 8 times a month with personalized financial data-driven insights and product-based advice, and to increase by 50% the click-through rates on presented insights. You can see some more examples here, including even in the middle, a real-time financial data-driven personalized product-based advice, helping customers to avoid getting into delinquency by providing a real-time solution for them. Another great example from Australia, from my state bank, this is a combination of personalized day-to-day insights and even an automated self-adjustable saving program. Customers don't need to set up goals or threshold or time limit. The bank is automatically able to identify safe to save funds and automatically moving them from the checking accounts into savings accounts when we think the time is right, even up to $100 every day, and helping customers to automatically save for the future. Self-adjustable, always protecting the customers not getting into overdraft. Great example, this is US Bank, the 5th largest bank in the US market, 9 million digital customers. They went live in less than 4 months with Personetics engagement platform, In the mobile channel, you can see a real estate where Personetics providing over 150 out of the box personalized insights, alerts, recommendations, transaction monitoring, subscription management insights, tracking, budgeting tools, automated savings programs, and so on and so forth. And the numbers are really speak by themselves. We can also see on the left an example for a product-based advice. We notice when a customer is maybe getting into a deep problem, maybe in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because he just spent a lot of money on home improvement. We know that in real time because we are categorizing and enriching the data and understanding in real time the customer's financial behavior, past, present, and predict the future, and then executing against that with a real-time financial data-driven product-based advice according to the bank's product catalog, eligibility analysis, and propensity models. So we are integrating with everything and driving the highest level of real-time product-based advice and, of course, financial data-driven engagement. Once we are starting to work with banks, as you can see, we are keep expanding and adding additional business solutions. US Bank, as an example, is using 6 different business solutions of Personetics: small business, open banking, tracking, budgeting tools, and so on and so forth. So we are keep growing and adding additional business solutions. Another example from open banking, this is Ally Bank, the 3rd largest digital savings bank in the US. And by understanding customers, even external connected banking data, we are able to identify safe to save money, and customers can connect external bank accounts, and our analytical models are able to detect are there available funds that can be saved. And when we think the time is right, completely automatically, self-adjustable, we are able to move money into the Ally Bank higher yield saving account. Customers can even create multiple goals. We can split the money between different goals, and the algorithms are running automatically. Again, customers are not doing anything. They don't need to create any threshold or time limit or anything around that. It's completely automated, self-adjustable. And maybe the last example from Canada, the largest bank in Canada, RBC, again, 9 million digital customers. And you can see how we are keep growing and adding additional business solutions, from day-to-day insights to automated programs to budgeting tools, even a chatbot, even a small business implementations, and the numbers are quite impressive. So to summarize, we are focusing on enabling banks all over the world to get into these global market standards: financial data-driven, personalization and customer engagement, how to truly engage with customers, all sorts of customers on a day-to-day, how to move from transactional banking into a financial data-driven, proactive, smart engagement, how to drive balance and asset growth and strengthen the customer's financial wellness, how to boost the productivity of the bankers in the branches or in the call centers or financial advisors with real-time financial data-driven insights, how to drive the highest value of contextualized digital sales according to the customer's needs. And we are proud in our ability to drive this significant, measurable business impact in less than 6 months of implementation, cloud, on-premise, or even a SaaS delivery model, or even private cloud. We're able to run this great business impact and helping banks to get into the space of truly understanding their customers, providing the highest value of personalized engagement to fulfill the social contract between banks and the customers, and what customers are actually expecting, and how banks can drive the highest value of personalized sales and servicing. So the Personetics platform for end-to-end is a complete strategic engagement platform that can complement internal capabilities from the banks and quickly taking that into the market, accelerate internal innovation and truly adapt to market changes. We have the ability to connect with data in real time to truly understand that on a customer level, to drive a meaningful personalized insights. We have a huge catalog of over 300 out of the box tested and verified personalized insights for all sorts of segments, and banks can also create from scratch or modify them. We are providing codeless creation and management console, so banks can have a full control of that. They can segmentize, simulate, change triggers, dependencies, or logic, and have a full control of the platform. We are also providing a set of all sorts of automated, self-adjustable financial wellness programs, and even in banker channels. And of course, we have a lot of measurable content, so banks can keep measuring the adoption of the clients. They can keep tracking and adapt over time with our capabilities. So just to finalize, we are able to quickly help banks to create this truly virtuous customers flywheel and to increase the relationship depth, of course, customers' lifetime value, to increase the retention, and to really help customers with their day-to-day finance and to drive an amazing business impact. So thank you for your time, and I will stay, of course, for the discussion and any other questions later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dorel. So guys, we have a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, so you can feel free to ask questions for Dorel or for the other speakers. And we actually have first questions from Mark Gillen. We ask him, would it be correct to state that this technology can be used in a telecommunications domain in products like mobile money?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Once we are getting an access to financial transactional data in any kind of environment, yes, we are able to use these models, but that's why it's algorithms. It's not business logic. It's algorithms that can be work in mobile wallet, working with telco companies and so on and so forth, and really helping customers to achieve financial goals, not just by personalized insights and product-based advice, even by automated self-adjustable programs, helping customers to save for the future or cut a debt or invest. So absolutely, yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dorel. And also would like to, to seize the opportunity to welcome Liora, the head of the fintech department in the Export Institute, our partner for this event. And also Pastor Segan, who is the chairman of the Africa-Israel Chamber of Commerce, who helped us also to disseminate invitations to get people to this webinar. Thank you for joining us, Pastor Segan. We have another questions to Dorel. In connection with back-end integration with legacy systems, do you need a customer data platform for the cloud data connector? You see where you're...
yeah, but let me maybe answer that, guys, very quickly.
Okay.
That's the beauty of Personetics. Because we are a global market leader in 60 banks, of course, we are able to work directly with the spaghetti infrastructures, any kind of environment, any kind of database, data lake, data swamp, whatever it is, even directly with the mainframe. We don't need data preparation. We don't need shiny toys. We can work directly with the same data that you guys are receiving, the last 6 months of financial transactional data that you are getting. That's what we need.
Okay. Last one questions from James. And again, if you have, for the audience, if you have more questions, feel free to send to Dorel in the chat box or in the Q&A. Do your systems run in your customer space, or do you require the data to leave their space?
Nothing is leaving the space. This is a complete white label installation. We are using a real-time in-memory machine, which means that nothing is leaving the bank. It's an on-prem installation, even through a SaaS. Again, data is not leaving the bank. And we're using, of course, GDPR, data privacy compliant. And again, because it's a real-time in-memory streamlining processing, the data stays at the same place without moving, without copying.
Okay, thank you very much, Dorel. And we are moving to our next speaker, who is Jake Levant, who's the VP at Lightico. Jake, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Let me share some screen here. I'm going to also share my sound. Getting set up, 30 seconds. Okay, folks, well, I'm happy to be talking to you about something that's very important in this sphere. We're going to be talking about the digital transformation of the front end of our customer engagements. We're not talking about solely insurance, but we're talking about in the financial sectors overall. We're going to be talking about all the different touch points that we have where our customers meet us. And I know that we've made tremendous moves in terms of digitization of one component or another component, but we're going to be talking about the end-to-end customer journey and how it's changed and evolved over time, how we're all working from our mobile phones now, especially in this Corona era, and particularly in the African markets. We're going to be talking about light touch. When we talk about digital transformation, customer journeys, oftentimes we're talking about multi-year projects. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about SaaS that can make the impact and APIs that can have fast time to value. Let's get a little bit more specific about where Lightico comes in and how we help do this. The nature of this is that you and I are on our mobile phones. We're busy walking around. We accidentally buy things from Amazon. We're in the park with our kids. And that's how we're used to transacting. We do things with swipes and selfies. But regulated businesses like yours and mine, well, we're born into legacy. We're born into compliance. We're born into branches. We're born into paperwork. And so these relationships get sticky where we can't necessarily meet our customers as we would want, but we still need them to do different tasks. Those tasks might be signing on a document, filling in a form, verifying their ID, consenting to different terms, collecting documents, and paying for things. These are the sticking points. And as a nature, I know that we've understood this. So we've started digitizing part of that, piecemeal. Maybe we have some of these different vendors that we've taken on, but we're not getting the full digital power of that. And so it's partially because we've stitched it together through manual or legacy processes. So we may have a payment portal, we may have a e-signature on a PDF, but the two need to work together. And so we have these manual breakpoints between all of our journeys. No one wants to sign up, just sign for a document. They want to open a bank account. No one just wants to fill in a form. They want to have an insurance policy. And we know that there are multiple stages. So what ends up happening is when we come and we work with customers that we bounce customers between different channels. If it's online, we start something, but then we push them to a call center, we put them back to an email, ask them to print, and eventually our customers give up on us because we are not unified in our proposal. And so we lose our customers and we lose the opportunity. So this is where we come in, and this is where we work with established banks, insurers, telcos, and we help them unify all this in the digital completion cloud. We do this all directly to the mobile phone without the need for any email, portal, app, anything of that nature. It's direct to the mobile phone where we get instantaneous real-time completion. That's the digital completion cloud. So it has all the core capabilities that you would need to complete any of those transactions. If it's from a validated signature to an easy to complete form with intelligent logic, to capturing and verifying identification, to saving call centers on tedious reading of scripts and making it in digital format, to collecting very important information via utility bill or proof of damage, whatever it may be, pay stubs, to actually completing a purchase. All these different components are then weaved together in intelligent automated workflows. So there's no breakpoints between these digital silos. So if someone can start a journey, they can start from an agent, a call center, they can start from a website, an IVR, a social channel. And as they fill in forms, then they'll be required to do different things based on the logic. There's no variability, no rekeying, no manual intervention, but simple automatic workflows that will determine that if you're of a certain age or certain status, then you need to do more. In this example, if it's age-based, you have to upload ID before you can complete the journey. And when we do this with our partners, then we see that we have completion rates that skyrocket because everything's done instantaneously. We're not asking them to go and print something off and go email and check their spam folders. We see that if they're easier time, faster time, turnaround time, we have call handle times that's reduced. People are resolving issues in the moment, first time. Fewer people are abandoning, higher customer satisfaction. Let's take a quick look at what that feels like, but I'm going to do even better in a minute. I'm going to have you play along in 1 second. Let's watch this with me. The agent is sending over documents. The customer gets via text message, opens a secure collaboration window. They can easily complete forms in real time, signatures, intuitive, using swipes and selfies. Take pictures like they always do, things that are comfortable and known behaviors. Agents and businesses get it back to their system of record, if it's Salesforce, call center, back and forth in the moment. There's no delays in waiting for someone to find what you're talking about, go home, find out the printer has no ink. Everything is done instantaneously in a secure window. Come back and let me stop this sound so we don't have to listen to any more YouTube music. Join me again on my presentation. All right. So here are just a few of the companies that we're working with, many industry leaders. You'll see them across the financial services.
Can you just share the screen so we can see the presentation?
Oh, hot dog. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Stop the share now. It's time to reshare. So we are working with many of the industry leaders that in financial services, telco, insurance. I've added just a few of our African portfolio here. So generic APSA, many international players have chosen to use this solution to digitize and streamline their entire end-to-end customer interaction from any touch point, because we know that not everything's as easy as just an Amazon purchase. We know that we work in regulated and challenging environments, but we also know that people have a supercomputer in their pocket and that telephone can get it done. And so when we do this, we see that we have 4 times completion rate when we work with a global pharma company. We see that we have faster turnaround time when we work in banking. We see that in telcos that we're able to delight customers, not just get things done. Yes, delight. And so this is the end-to-end customer digital journey that we are working on. And it's a very light touch. This solution staples on through API integrations to your core systems today through SaaS, and it's a very fast time to value. I'm going to encourage everyone here to experience it, because I think that until you've actually experienced how easy dealing with a bank or an insurer could be, it all looks the same. So I'm going to drop a link into the chat right now, and you'll see this woman, Natalie, and she'll be working with you, and she'll guide you through anything from opening a bank account, so be a fake bank account, to settling a claims policy, and anything of that nature. And so Natalie will do a video self-serve so that you can see all these different components, which are otherwise very tricky, done and delivered immediately to your mobile phone. So that's I'm going to drop that into the chat right now. And for that, I'm going to take a pause and engage anyone with questions.
Thank you very much, Jake. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the Q&A box on the bottom of the screen. Let's see if we get something.
So I've just shared a link so that hopefully everyone will have the opportunity to play along. It's actually really fun. Make sure that you're at a PC so you'll have that woman, Natalie, walk you through as you fill out the forms and get onboarded. You'll then be delighted, because when Amazon turns into an insurer bank, that's how easy it's going to be.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jake. So we don't have any question at the moment. Sorry, we have one, 2 actually. First question, do you establish reseller and partner relationships? Direct to the business.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much for the overture. Yes, we do. And because there are certain areas that we are not domain experts. And so your relationships are welcome. And so if you've got an established relationship with the customer base that could value this, then please reach out. It's jake@lightico.com.
Ellie Goldstein is asking, regarding your API, do you have a middleware connector?
So the API is quite robust. When we say API, it's a RESTful API that we have not had any issues where we would require middleware. Generally, the folks on the other side, we work with large organizations, and actually you can use it as a standalone, as a SaaS. I could demonstrate that to you as well. So we haven't had the need. Doesn't mean that we can't, we just haven't had the need. I'm happy to get into a further discussion on a specific use case. Not something that we've come across right now.
Okay. Another question is, have you created any customer bring your own device shopping apps, in-store shopping via the customer's phone using the retailer's app?
So great. This solution has been embedded in many different apps. This ability to get legally standing and binding information back and forth is part and parcel of other apps. We are not in the app business. Actually, we as a philosophy don't believe that every relationship should have an app that's a very high interaction level. Most times customers just want things done. But the functionality that we bring, if it's the document verification, if it's the form filling, these components are often built into other applications. And so we provide that to a bank, to an insurer, to a telco for their own apps. But we also enable it to be done app-free, such that just through a simple text message, you can have the customer complete a whole slew of a transaction in the moment. So it can be app-free or it can be built into an app. We've had both instances.
Okay, thank you very much, Jake. And we will go to our third speaker, Lior Melnick, who is the VP for Business Development at Qnomy.
Hello.
Go ahead, Lior.
Excellent. Thank you, Amit and Lior, for the opportunity, and thank you for your time. We are Qnomy. My name is Lior Miller. I'm, as Amit says, in charge of business development globally for Qnomy. Qnomy is all about customer experience, and let's start the presentation. So just a bit of background about Qnomy. We're already 18 years in business, providing a platform, a software platform for retail banks, healthcare, education, and governments throughout the world. You can see some of our customers in here. As I said, we have resellers and partners throughout the world. Technology is changing fast in where we are concentrating it, and this is the actual branch. The financial services and retail branches are transforming, and what happened for the past year has actually accelerated that times, I don't know, times 10 maybe. So just to give you a big roundup of what happens in the branches for the past decade or two. So in the past decade, we used to go to the bank to do any transaction, withdrawal, cash, investment, mortgage, everything, loans, whatever we needed, we went to the bank. And it's all about the bank procedures and the logistic about meeting a person, signing the form, getting into that queue of people lining up outside the bank. And there came in the need for ticket system and the queuing system, where we supported as a software company from the get-go. In today's banks, the transformation is more about customer experience and self-services. So you can see the banks on the right side, the branches on the right side of some of our customers who are more innovative. They want you to go to the branch and they want it to be more of a value transaction. Of course, teleservices are getting less and less because people are moving to the digital world. However, face-to-face does matter, and the branches do take a massive role in any bank of today, even North American banks. Face-to-face matters. In order to have face-to-face as a better value-based appointment booking or meetings with your agents, the today's banks looks more like this, or we'll go to that. We're talking about hubs where agents or bankers are not set at their desk. They meet their customers on a face-to-face or virtual elements while staying at home, working from home, or working at any branch. It's basically a banker anywhere philosophy today. And we do want to come to the branch. We do want to meet with you face-to-face because transactions like mortgages and loans do need the trust of face-to-face engagement. And however you want to put it to the digital elements or virtual, that may help, but also a trust face-to-face and a handshake always works better. So everything is moving to value-based. Value-based means you know what your customer needs, you know what they're there for. So the conversion of doing the actual sale is better when you have an appointment, when you're coming into a meeting, and the agent knows exactly what you need and will share with you the information which is valuable to you. That's the value of doing the appointment booking and smart integration between in-branch and digital worlds. Hence, you can see some of our solutions. On the right side, you can see how we integrate, or as a standalone web app, or integrate to the bank's services of their app, okay? Allowing them to manage appointments, manage waiting times, digitally remote check-in or digital check-in to video sessions, not only face-to-face in branch. We're looking at video appointments, audio appointments. We're looking into even chat appointments with the integration of moving between those channels seamlessly. So doing a video meeting, and after that, I want to leave a note because I forgot something. I want to leave a note to my banker to get to me back and talk about the same solution I've requested. On the banker side, the adoption of technology is critical today. The bankers of today are using a lot of system. Therefore, an innovative, simple system to manage the productivity of the agents with calendar integration, with simple task management is what we do, even for back office tasks, where you can see your appointments today, coming in appointments, you can see the channel that the meetings will be, and the only thing you need to do is actually press the next button. The next button means let's go to the next meeting, whatever channel it's going to be. If it's going to be on video, sure. What kind of video? Well, Qnomy is agnostic about the channels, and we like to bring in the channels the banks is already using. For example, we're one of the first to collaborate with Teams, which is normally a collaboration system for internal teams. We actually access that to customers utilizing the 365 subscription to meet with your customers. So forth with Zoom and other solutions. And of course, audio with Teams and audio with other solutions and chat with other solutions. So integrating into Qnomy is something we do all the time. What are we concentrating on? So we're concentrating on bringing your customers digitally to the meetings. So branch locator information, campaign information, digital forms for request form surveys, online booking. And when we talk about online booking, we're talking about enterprise booking, the ability to book and any channel, voice booking, IVR booking, online booking, call center booking, and agent one-to-one booking. It's all one centralized system to manage that. And the availability of the agent is known to the system. So we know how to do role-based assignment and smart routing to the most available agent to have a most productive agents and better timing and less waiting times for our customers. Automation is a core product of what we do. So we know how to do the automation, and I will speak about automation in a second. We will get the customer into the bank with, of course, knowing the resources you have and the rule-based and role-based mechanism you've set on the system. We will send all the interactions to the customer with instructions on what to do, what to bring, reminders, and of course, integrating ads and personalized information from any system you have in the bank. During the appointment, the check-in option, the smart routing, digital signage, Omni-Service, we support the digital branch, but also the physical branch. So that needs to come in together. So the waiting time is going to be combined for any visit. Doesn't matter if it's a physical visit or a virtual visit. Of course, monitoring and analytics is part of it. Customer surveys, post-visit communication, management, and reports. Qflow, our platform, is an open architecture platform. It's an on-prem or on-cloud solution where the data is yours. Plug in your BI systems. There's a lot of data, but that data is not just there to be on its own. It needs to be combined with other data. So our architecture is widely open to integrate through a lot of tools, from flat files up to webhooks. Of course, back office automated workflows is something we concentrate on. And our platform consists of 4 different modules, and it is a modular. In case you already have one of the solutions and you just want to have one more solution integrated into that, we are actually the hub that can be modular to your needs. So customer flow, virtual and physical, appointment management in any channel, BPM automation for any need and any use. For example, and I'm going to give you more of an example from TD Bank, one of our customers, who is now starting to do a curbside pickup for credit cards. In COVID, to order a credit card and receive it is a task where people don't want to go to the branch to. Ordering the credit card online or getting to Qflow an event by webhook that there is an order, and there Qflow manages the process of ordering, the process of manufacturing, for the tasking, and of course the pickup. They're talking to the customer, telling them to book an appointment for the curbside. When he's there, just press the button, let us know you're there. We will come out to you and provide the credit card after we validate that it's you. So simple solutions, automation is doing a massive change in the branches of today. As I said, we do support physical and digital check-in and solutions for digital signage, audio announcements, and of course the mobile landing page, which can be integrated to any app or as a standalone in a link by SMS message that our platform generate automatically for you. Omni booking is the ability to have any channel you want for your customer. It can be rule-based. For example, for this kind of for loans appointments, I'd like to do more video appointments. And for just opening a new bank, I want you to come in to do a physical meeting with us or a phone call. So you can actually play with that, but it's fully customizable to add any channel you like. And of course, the Omni-Service. The Omni-Service is what we call the hybrid agent of today, working both virtually and physically from home, from branch, from any branch, the ability to do that and to get the customer experience about what's going on now. Real-time information about the waiting time, the entry time, the agent time. And as you can see, we already have a wide customers using those video services of today. And one of the key analytics is about how do you utilize the data based on the channel that you meet with a customer? What is the end result for each channel? And from our current data, we know that actual virtual appointments on video have very good results when we match the data with CRM data that we have. The customer landing page is a key product for us that we are building and actually adding a lot of information with a clear roadmap. We already have a few customers lining it up into their applications. It's an open source application with a workflow mechanism to change the workflow by customer. So this can be customized for anything. And of course, it's fully white labeled for every customer. User experience and adoption is very important as of today. Bankers can work on a tablet, can work on their own phone. the system adapts and it's fully responsive and actually native to mobile and tablets. And we're talking about, could be a concierge in the branch who's just making sure the flow is there. So he's working with his tablet, getting the information from customers, incoming customers, and not just using another kiosk, which we do support, but kiosk is something people are reluctant to touch these days. So a tablet-based or mobile-based solution is more adequate. Integration is a key in any project we do. And the system, as I said, receives integration from flat files up to webhooks. And what you see on the right is Santander Bank CRM. It's their own proprietary CRM called Neo CRM, where Qflow is integrated in 3 different ways. It is integrated as a web rerouting. It's integrated as an API, so call centers can easily book appointments by appointment type with about 15 minutes to book appointments, 15 seconds to book appointment, and an integration of the calendar view for the agents in their CRM. That's how flexible our solution is. Automation. I've talked about automation a bit. It's the ability actually to create the automations for any need you have to run the steps through and to manage any back office automations from credit card to mortgage requests to loan requests up to the approval process. And of course, customer-centric information for the customer and the process, letting me know where's this request, what's going on now, what's the SLA on it, and so forth. Last, of course, is the analytics. We have a wide range of analytics about staffing, agent behaviors, agent times, of course, customers' behavior, customers' arrival, appointments versus walk-ins, and more features into that. Some of our customers, you can see that for a wide range of customers. I will concentrate on Fidelity Investment in North America, not the Fidelity in Africa. Fidelity in North America have about 8,000 agents. All are available on Qflow with integration to their Outlook. So Qflow knows in real time exactly who's available and what's the productivity of every agent. So we can meet with the right customer needs to the right agent skills. And we do that on a massive integration with Salesforce, as the bank is using a Salesforce. So everything is managed through Salesforce. The agents are managing through Salesforce. The coordination and the automated routing is happening in Qflow. We are the proud provider, vendor of the choice for Vodacom or Vodafone globally. And Vodacom is already with us for the past 5-6 years. And there's a big transaction in branches today in Vodafone. Don't know if you know, but Vodafone has declared that they will shut down 40% of their branches in the UK, where it's their innovative hub. We have now moving to a more of a franchise branches, and the franchise branches is a new theme. And we've already integrated video solutions for agents to show the new iPhones and everything on virtual meetings. Virtual meetings is taking a larger place in retail and in banking of the day. And it's, again, it's a value-based transaction where I want to meet in order to see something. I want to have an unboxing experience of my iPhone. I want to know the details of the mortgage. I want to talk to somebody face-to-face. So enhancing that virtual element along keeping the branch intact with the branch targets is something critical.
We just need to finish go to the other.
I have finished exactly where we finished. All right, any questions?
Okay, so we have one question at the moment from Ellie Goldstein. Through omnichannel plus through digital transformation without a holistic overreaching customer strategy and architecture together with seamless integration of technology and people is critical. Your thoughts, please.
Yes, I think that it has been said here, but digital transformation, specifically the retail aspects of any business, is a good idea, and people are going to move, and redirecting those people to the digital platforms is great. The branches and the physical element needs to be a part of it. And this is the holistic approach. The holistic approach means that any workflow, any customer journey workflow has to include the ability to support customers in different populations and different ages. We know the ages of 60 to 80 will probably come to the branch, but their digital journey or trail begins at some point. And it should be an holistic approach of viewing that journey from their needs up to their visit in the bank and afterwards with the survey or fulfilling their needs. And Qflow is integrated with a lot of point of sale solutions and CRM solutions to provide either the journey itself or pieces of the journey, and therefore integration, specific data integration is critical in that piece. Qnomy is offering what other companies in that region are not offering is the journey, concentrating on the data and of course, the meeting the expectation of the customer with the skills of the agents. You're on mute, I'm guessing. Amit, you're on mute.
Sorry, thanks, Lior. Thank you very much, Lior.
Pleasure.
And we're moving to our last speaker for today, Ryan Bessarabi. I hope I'm saying it right. He's the Digital CX Business Development Manager at Glassbox.
Yeah, that's correct, Amit.
Yeah.
Correct.
Open your camera.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Also, I obviously need to share.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at.
So you have like 7-8 minutes, okay? And then we will go to a few questions for panel discussions. So
Perfect.
The floor is yours. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna try and find where I need to share. We're gonna go with that one. You have to tell me. Okay, you're probably looking at my VPN at the moment. Am I correct?
Yep.
All right, great. All right. Hello, everybody. You found it? As you can hear, native South African.
Where's the biltong?
So I tried making my own, to be perfectly honest, and the spices here are not exactly Crown National spices, so it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to come out with. I thought it was pretty good. My kids told me that it was absolutely shocking, and so now we're needing to import, but it's not so easy to do so with COVID. So whatever, hopefully this will end very soon, and we'll move forward. Okay, with the short bit of time that I have left, want to obviously introduce you guys to Glassbox. As you can see, Glassbox is really about creating frictionless digital journeys for your customers. So we're talking about digital customers here, and what I might just actually begin with is a story. As I mentioned, I've got kids and they love stories, and I think it all brings us back to our formative years. Imagine you guys are off at Wanderers, and you're going to watch cricket, India versus South Africa. Okay, and let's say you've got the opportunity from a hypothetical position to be able to run a campaign to a consumer like myself, a cricket fan, and you're able to track when that campaign reaches me. So you get an open rate or whatever. You see me open up the email or the campaign, I click on it, it looks interesting, and now you're able to track me, let's say hypothetically, get into my car, drive over to Wanderers Cricket Stadium. I get out, I get into the parking lot there. So you're tracking that as like, let's say the next node of the journey. He enters the parking lot. I exit my vehicle and I walk through into the stadium doors, another node as part of the journey. I now make it over to the fourth node, which is me purchasing my ticket. And I get the ticket and it's all great and it's going well. And I find my seat and everything is perfect. The lights are working great. The grass is mowed perfectly. It's absolutely green and beautiful. The sound is fantastic. The big screen TVs are awesome. Everything's working wonderfully. All right. But what you see is you see me exiting before the end of the game. Now, it doesn't make sense because from an IT perspective or an infrastructure perspective, everything was working so well. The experience should be awesome from that perspective. And everything looked great from, let's say, a client-side perspective. I followed all of the journey points and I made it to the point of purchasing the ticket. But why did I leave? Because what you didn't see is that there was a super exuberant and excited Indian fan behind me. And that when India hit a 6, his beer went flying up into the air and it landed all over me. And now I'm wet and I stink. And I don't want to be at this cricket game anymore. My experience is ruined. So I leave. Now that's Glassbox. Glassbox is giving you the visibility to understand exactly where the errors are, where the friction is, and the why behind the abandonment that might be happening within your digital journey. The one thing I always like to address first and foremost when you're working with the digital space is security, because that's the first question people want to know. If we're working about digital conduct, compliance, and all of the other elements that create a very complex environment You need to know that your customers, your digital customers, are 100% secure, and the data that you own is also 100% secure. So because we're actually working and we started off with our tier 1 financial sector, we have to meet all of that security. Now, the thing that this slide is showing is not actually articulating or really, let's say, blowing our own trumpet in terms of our value proposition and what we bring. What it's actually saying is that, albeit you might be looking at different verticals and different logos, they actually have one common denominator from a mission statement. And that is, behind the session ID is a real human being. Behind that session ID, those ones and zeros, is real anger, real frustration, intention, expectation. And the same way that I would engage, let's say, my Standard Bank app, is the same way that when I go to Takealot, I want to feel that same experience. I'm not interested. I don't make the segmentation in my mind that says, okay, now I'm in my Standard Bank app, and therefore my experience should be one that's geared towards Standard Bank. And then when I want to go and purchase something, now I go to Total Sports or I go to Sportsman's Warehouse, and that experience is a different one. No, I want the same intuitive, seamless experience that understands me as being number one digital customer for these providers. And so that's what Glassbox is actually doing. So if you're thinking of yourself from a, let's say, a product perspective, you want to understand things like, how do you go ahead and increase your NPS, your customer satisfaction? How do you go ahead and roll out a new version of your product? And what are the new features you plan on adding? What are the kind of journeys and activities that are going to impact your conversion, the engagement, make your product that much more sticky? And where is it that you actually need to go ahead and prioritize improving your product to make it that much more sticky and retain those customers? These are the kinds of questions. Of course, there's many more, but how do you make those decisions without having the information available to be data-driven towards knowing that where you prioritize your resources makes sense? So what we do from a Glassbox perspective is simply 4 steps. Number 1, we capture 100% of all information taglessly, meaning that automatically, as customers are coming into your site or your web or your app, they're automatically being captured, all of that data. That means that all of your teams that normally sit and tag events, and unfortunately with human error, miss out on tagging certain things or certain events, and therefore your funnels have to be introduced again, or the data has to be captured again to restart things. That doesn't happen with us. It's all automatic, and it's all 100%. All page data, or behavioral data, intra-page data, or page elements, everything is captured. It's obviously then indexed and analyzed with AI machine learning too, to allow for you to be able to understand or get out of the box reporting dashboards, and that can help actually give you proactively the insights as to where you need to go ahead and to drive your resources or invest them in order to make sure that their customer satisfaction and that revenue is completely up. I want to just jump quickly into what it means when we talk about tagless capturing. As I said, it's every single page on your site or on your app. It's all the information that's extant in that page: IP address, geolocations, the browser types, the product versions, buttons, text boxes, clicks, all your page elements, all the experience elements. So imagine you're using the phone. Am I zooming in? Is he zooming out? Is he pinching? Is he tilting the screen? Is he going back and forth? Is he following our registration page in the intended manner and way? What's the value when he actually abandons? So if I'm abandoning, or I'm experiencing a struggle on a 1,000 Rand table tennis table, how many people were affected by that same experience? What's the extent of the community that experienced the same frictional point or error that unfortunately led to, let's say, 1,000 times 1,000, which is now you lost 1 million, simply because somebody was using Windows ice cream version and it wasn't able to load properly because there was some kind of an AJAX error on the screen. Obviously, the intuitive visualization is something that I expressed. It's real-time session replay. And that means real-time reporting and real-time dashboarding and real-time alerts. When you talk about real-time, we're speaking literally as I speak to you now. And one of our strongest use cases is that where customers divert to, let's say, a human-assisted channel, is that, and you don't want that to really be the case, but where it does happen is that those customer support reps are able to go ahead and co-browse with the customer that's needing that support there and then.
We have Ryan. We have another 2 minutes. We need to finish. Okay.
Perfect. We spoke about the AI-powered analytics, and I think where this differentiates is not simply just in terms of anomalies that, by the way, are dynamic thresholds, or you could set static thresholds to them, but more in terms of behavior insights. So if you're seeing that there's what we call rage clicks, imagine that you're looking at your phone and you're trying to hit on something, you're hitting multiple times. If there's a spike in that in a particular page or particular element, that's the kind of behavior that's an outlier behavior that might be affecting a number of your customers, and obviously can jump on that proactively. So to finish off, and this gives me probably about a minute more, is we spoke about autonomous tagging, automatically capturing and indexing and analyzing everything that's there on the page or that's there within the product itself, an augmented journey map which supports the session replay while the session is still occurring, so you can actually see where your customers are and where they're experiencing frictional elements, the embedded AI which alerts you proactively to any kind of outlier behavior and gives you those proactive insights about the journeys being expected. We obviously, which I didn't mention before, but we support both hybrid and native mobile support. Server-side capture, which makes us an amazing bridge between your APM systems like your New Relic, Datadog, Splunks, whatever you might be using, that really kind of reports on the experience from an infrastructure point of view, but doesn't tell you about the client-side experience and, of course, the real-time stuff. That's it. There's obviously a lot to jump into, and I'd love to schedule demos with those of you that find that might be relevant to your business, and we can actually look at the platform. Are there any questions at this particular stage?
Thank you very much, Ryan. I don't think we have at the moment questions. And anyway, since we're very short in time, we're going to do one questions for the panel, just to say we have these discussions. And I think, I wanted to ask you, as someone that now, I live in South Africa for the last 3.5 years and working with a lot of South African companies, it always comes to the, realizations and understanding, okay, you have a great technology, but what about the implementations? How, you make it successful, how this technology, there is, I would say, kind of conservative thinking in South Africa when it comes to the technology to say, okay, you know what, let's be more cautious about it. And I think there is some advantage for that, but, for accepting and implement new technologies that might be a little bit, could cause some problems with getting new technologies and to be innovative. So from your experience, from working with other financial institutions or other clients, what do you think is the most critical element when it comes to have, like, in your technology, to have a successful implementations with the client side? Maybe Dorel, will start with you.
Yeah, I will try to answer that. I think unlike other companies here, we have a very deep integration with banks. We are connecting with their biggest assets, their own customers' financial transactional data. So it's really deep level. And I think, and we are doing it, we've done it 60 times all over the world. I think what is really important here to have a very flexible, agile architecture that can work in any kind of environment, in any kind of local regulation, in any kind of database, without trying to force something on the bank, because it's not going to work. You have to work on-prem or private cloud or cloud. You have to work in real time. It needs to be very light in terms of latency and dependency. You need to have all the securities and the regulation to support around that, and to come with the global best practices. And I think the second thing is having a very strong local partners, as we have as Personetics, that can provide all the local support and the maintenance and working hand by hand with the client.
Thank you, Dorel. Jake?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting comment. a lot of folks are afraid of going too deep, and I understand that because they're worried about the digital transformation myths that we've seen over the last decades where things take a lot of time. So the key to overcoming such a thing is to try, see the proof of impact very quickly before you dig too deep, because yes, of course, you have to have a certified player who's got all the regulatory adherence. But there is a concern about when you go to the core, then you're taking on more and more risk. And I think as industry, we've met a lot of folk who just have a bad flavor in their mouth because they went too deep and they haven't seen the return on their investment, not just their money, but their time. So one of the learning points has been try and prove quickly. Then when you see the value, extend. And so I think that's where the value of having something that's softer and that can lay on top and deliver fast ROI and impact is so important. That's new. We haven't had that 10 years ago. That's new value that we can drive as an industry for folks who are hesitant, and they're rightfully hesitant. But I think that everyone on this panel has something that can be proven out very quickly.
Thank you. Lior?
Yeah, I'll continue what Darrell said about local partners and expertise, plus an analysis design phase, which is critical for every project. You know what you know, you don't know what you don't know. Bring in values from other industries, retail, healthcare, and just creating that map and design with the bank, with the retailer is critical, and scalability. You're not going to implement go live for all the organization at once. It's a step-by-step process, and you need to support. It could be a module by module or user by user, but this needs to be scalable and meeting the bank's project management consumptions. That's basically it.
Thank you. And last but not least, Ryan.
Yeah, just it's super quick. To be perfectly honest, from our perspective, we've been in the game for a very long time. As we actually started out as a compliance solution, we moved actually into digital experience as well. So now we're actually working primarily with your product owners, your DevOps teams, your contact support centers, and digital analytics. We're talking about literally an SDK that takes about a couple of hours to load, and the JavaScript, which is about 15 minutes. I'd say where the implementation really anchors itself is only in resource availability on the customer side. That means how quickly or how much do they want to prioritize implementation from their perspective? Do they have the resources available, dedicated people? Because we're dealing obviously with PCI and PII information, everything comes actually automatically masked or omitted from input fields, but there are other elements. For example, if I log into like a Standard Bank app, as I mentioned before, it will say, "Hi, Ryan," and that's not an input field. Now that needs to be masked too. So we sit with obviously the QA teams. So all in all, we like to say within 2 weeks, you're up and running in production and seeing value. So your time to value is really within 2 weeks, and depending on the use cases, obviously too.
Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone. I think we are running a little bit behind schedules, but it was extremely interesting. And I think really we learned a lot. And thanks for all the case studies and presenting. Thank you for everyone who attending to this session. We will send a follow-up email for all people who attended with the link for the recording. And if you want to have one-on-one meetings, to schedule demos with the companies, please reply to this email and let us know, and we'll be glad to facilitate those meetings. Thank you very much. And thank you for all the partners, and hope to see you in our future events.
Thank you, Amit. Keep well.
Thank you, Amit, Lior. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.